That's just for me. I'm not recording any of you.
Making a little on-demand library. So fun. Woohoo! I know, very exciting. Onward and upward. So we'll start today as we normally do on our backs. We're sitting up, just coming into the present moment, taking these first few moments to fully arrive in our space. We all have things going on in our lives, busy, stresses, to-dos. But yoga allows us an opportunity to find stillness, to find pause, to tend to our mind, body, and spirit. So we take these first few moments in meditation to begin to release what has come before and what will come after. And we come into this present moment by learning to witness. By not becoming identified with our thoughts and our feelings, simply noticing them and then letting them pass. We can strengthen our ability to do this by anchoring into our breath. So first begin to notice the depth at which your inhale is coming in. And the speed at which you're exhaling. Beginning to slow that down. To pull that inhale back in. Seeing if we can welcome it in a little bit deeper. And slow, lengthen that exhale out. Continue at this pace. Inhales deeper, filling up with more air, noticing how much you can expand from the inside. Exhale, slow, steady, empty all the way out. Now, as we place our attention into the breath, it gives the mind something to focus on. The mind's job is to think. So even though our attention is placed on this breath, thoughts may come up, feelings may come up, expectations, judgments, limits, thoughts, they'll come up. But the breath gives us a tool to refocus in so those thoughts can pass and move on by. So throughout our practice, if you notice the mind doing its job, speaking to you, come back to the breath. And that looks like inhale. Feel, okay, deeper. Fill up, expand. Okay, exhale, out, soft, steady. Let those be your thoughts. Inhale. Fill up. Exhale. Release. Soften. Inhale. A little bit more. Exhale. Soften. Another helpful tool that can guide us through is an intention. What do we call on for inspiration when we move through challenge, when we feel unsturdy, when we feel like we can't do something? What do we call on? So ask yourself when you face challenge, when you're tired, when you're unsteady, what's a word that you could call on that would fill you up with a little more belief in yourself? For some of us, that's strength. For some of us, that's grace. Maybe it's just the willingness to try again. What's your intention? And then we can link the two, the breath, the intention. We can, on an inhale, fill up with life force, that energy, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Exhale your word. We talked about this a little bit Monday, this idea of filling ourselves up with more energy. So on an inhale, we're filling up more, 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 more. I am. Exhale, strong, sturdy, capable. We'll keep this idea flowing throughout class. Just know that should you ever come up to challenge or a wall, an edge, you can come back to your breath. You can come back to your intention. And a child's pose, a seated meditation, is always available to you if you should need it. We'll begin today by reaching our arms up overhead, finding our fingertips, finding our toes, and expanding those two places away from one another. Roll the ankles, roll the wrists. Begin to wake the body up slowly from opening meditation. And then we'll pull everything in. Knees come to belly for a hug, rock side to side. Now, I would go ahead and grab your strap and keep it close, just so it's there for you should you need it. So it's not a requirement, but if you ever want to wrap it around the bottom of your foot, it's really helpful if you feel scrunched or you can't quite grab your foot. It's a beautiful tool to call on. So it's always there for you. Just keep that in mind. We're going to hug the right knee in and extend the left leg long out in front of us. Take the right knee into the right hand and move it to the outside, kind of like it's moving into happy baby. That left leg can be strong, the heel can be floating, or you can drop the foot all the way down to the floor. Grab onto your big toe with your peace fingers, and then extend the base, the sole of the foot up to the ceiling. Pull down into the toe, pull that knee down towards the earth. So we've got this happy baby-like position. And then you can stay here and breathe some space into the hip, or you can begin pressing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, working that right leg towards straight. Not a have to, just an option. Bend that knee, and then take the right knee into the left hand. We'll cross the body. Right leg comes over towards the left. The left hand can be under the right knee for support or on top to twist you a bit deeper. Reach that right hand away from you. Gaze will move over towards the right. Deep breath. Bring that knee back through center. Extend it long to the front of the mat and let it rest. Notice for a second how the right leg is already feeling longer than the left. Just some gentle movements, how we're already creating more space in the body. And we're going to continue to do that. So by the time we get to toe to hand, we're going to have created a lot of space. So let's pull that left knee in, pull it in tight. Move the knee over into the left hand. And then take that left peace fingers and wrap it around the big toe. Pull fingers back into your toes, pulling that knee down towards the floor. Lift the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Pause here. Maybe your right hand is on your right hip, keeping it nice and anchored. And then you can decide, stay in this half happy baby or try to straighten that left leg. And this is a good time before we're calling on balance to just notice if you can straighten that leg with your fingers on your toes. If that leg doesn't go all the way straight, that's a good cue that when we start working into it, you might use the strap. Bend the knee, take the left knee into the right hand, cross it over the body. Keep the left shoulder grounded. Reach the left fingertips away from you. Gaze follows. Pull the knee back through center. Pull the right knee in to meet the left. Keep the knees bent. Rock forwards and backwards. Massage the spine. We'll land in a seat at the center of our mat. Pull that right foot in. Right knee is super bent. And you can use your hands. You can call on the strap since it's there. And we'll begin to walk the hands forwards and try to grab for the sole of the left foot. The fingertips against the sole of the left foot or hands on the strap become your anchor. Inhale, we stick our butt back, lengthen the spine through the top of the head, feel the back of the left leg. Exhale, pull everything in, bend the elbows, nose comes towards your knee. Inhale, stick your butt back, grow tall through the top of the head, come up halfway. Exhale, pull yourself in. Inhale, lengthen, expand. Exhale, pull it in. Two more here. Inhale, lengthen, expand. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale. Fill it up. Create space from the inside. Exhale, fold in. Stay here for a full round of breath. Inhale, we'll walk the hands backwards. Take the right hand behind you, lift the left hand towards the sky. The hips will lift straight up towards the ceiling. Reach from left toes to left fingertips. Open that front line. Feel the stretch in the side body. And we'll sit those hips back down. Pull the left knee in, straighten the right leg out. And fold over, grab for the bottom of your foot. If you cannot, use your strap. Inhale, we'll find length from your foot to your right hip. Stick your butt back. From that right hip up through the top of your head. Exhale, pull everything in. Inhale, expand. Exhale, fold, melt it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold it in. Two more, just like this. Beautiful breath, everybody. Inhale. Exhale, fold it in. Last one, inhale, pull that breath in nice and deep, find length. Exhale, fold it in, sustain for a full breath. Inhale, release the strap if you have it, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Take the left hand behind you like a kickstand. Inhale, right hand high, lift those hips, open that front line, find a stretch through the right side body, right fingertips to right foot. And we'll lower everything back to the mat. Cross at the ankles, find a tabletop. So your shoulders are under your wrists, hips under or over your knees. Maybe take your blocks on either side of your mat. So they are there, they're ready for you. We're not having to scramble and find them. We'll start with a cat-cow. So inhale, rotate those sit bones backwards, stick your butt back, drop your belly, your rib cage, lift your gaze high. Notice if the shoulders are by the ears, press down into the mat to lift up and out. Find the tops of your feet, nice and grounded. On your next exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, rotate those hips under. Maybe take a wiggle of the hips side to side, spread the shoulder blades apart. Your next inhale, find cow, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, cow. You can keep the structure here, cat, cow. If you'd like something a little more fluid, a little more open-ended, you can start shifting forwards and backwards, connecting the two postures. Slowing down and seeing if you can tune into those micro shifts that fluidly connect one posture to the next. If you'd like a little bit more movement, you can take the rib cage around the center line, rotate the hips in the circle, your head in a circle, really get everything moving. You can take a combo of any of these. The beginning of our movement practice, it's really helpful to tap into your intuition. So let go of what this should look like and go into your feelings. What feels good? What areas are a little stiff that you can spend a little more time on? Give a breath to. What areas of the body feel really good this morning? And just take these first or these last couple of breaths in the cat-cow as a celebration that you can move your body. All right, we'll find a neutral spine here. Tuck the toes, send the hips backwards first. Feel that stretch in the feet. We want to spread all 5 toes apart. Feel that stretch in the toes. Moving to our downward dog, press the mat forwards, lift the hips, settle those heels, melt your heart towards your thigh. Drop your ears away from your shoulders. We'll lift the left leg high, 3-legged down dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then we'll take the left knee to the left elbow in a plank position. Inhale, lift it high, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, left knee, left tricep a little bit higher this time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, try to get that left knee all the way up to your left shoulder. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Lower that back knee down. Setting us up for lizard here. Notice the sensation in the left hip. See if we can melt into that a little bit deeper. So maybe you call on your blocks, come down towards your elbows, but try to keep that left knee energetically squeezing towards that left shoulder instead of allowing it to melt out to the outside. Squeeze it in. Can create a little bit more space by pressing into the back foot, lifting the back knee off the floor. Just an option, not a have to. Coming back to your breath. Beautiful. Drop the back knee if you've lifted it. Come back to the hands. We'll send the hips straight back, straightening the front leg. Lift the toes back towards your face. Creating some space here in the back of the hamstrings. We will press that front heel down, stick our butt backwards, grow tall through the top of the head. Feel the back of that left leg. Breathe. Sensation is the language of the body. A loud sensation does not mean necessarily to move out of it, to move away. If the sensation is sharp, fiery, radiating, that's a good sign to back off a little bit. But if the sensation feels like a wall or like an edge, just a little louder than normal, that's a good clue in to stay, to breathe, to ask yourself if there's any gripping that you can soften on an exhale, melt into. Good. We'll bend the left knee. It's coming back to that lizard. We're going to tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Little awkward transition here. We're going to walk the hands over to the right, back to the right foot, turn the toes, coming to Skandasana on the right. Bend the right knee, straighten that left leg. You can keep your hands down on the floor. They can come to prayer pose. And then whether you use your hands or just the power of your legs, we're going to launch ourselves into Warrior Two on the left leg. Okay, nice and strong here. Wrap the right arm behind your back and lift the left hand high to the sky. Salt that warrior. That right hand can wrap around your back and press gently down on the back of that left hip to find some opening here. Let's release out of that cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot, lift the back heel, launch yourself forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, gently bend the knees, forward fold. Use the backs of your legs and see if you can pull yourself in. The front side body can feel really compressed here. Breathe into it. Inhale, we'll begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Now, first time here, we're just going to work on balance, not coming to the full posture. So we'll shift to the right leg, pull the left knee in. Go ahead and hug that knee in. So we're just getting familiar with what it feels like to balance on this right leg. Know that when we move forwards, that you can stay here. There are benefits here. From this position, just see if you can grab for the under part of that left foot. Now, that may look like grabbing for the front of your shin. We're just folding over that leg. Just getting familiar here. And then we'll release. Reach those hands high. Find that baby back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it in. Place the hands down on the mat. Step the left foot back. Feel that opening in the left hip. Place the hands down on your mat. Step right to meet left, plank position. Here in plank, let's keep those hips lifted so they're even with our lower back, middle back, shoulders, like you're creating a table here. If you need to lower your knees, that's available to you. We'll move through chaturanga, keeping the back lifted. Shift the shoulders forwards over the wrists. Send the elbows straight backwards. Squeeze the rib cage halfway down. Inhale, we'll move into cobra. So that's halfway to our upward dog, just giving the back a moment to adjust. Find the tops of your feet. Squeeze your quads up off your knees. As you press into your hands, lift into your upward dog. Pull your belly in towards the spine. Exhale, lower it back down. Belly button to spine. Very subtle shift here, working on the core. And melt it back down, lift the chest. Exhale, pull belly button to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, release, open. Last time we'll meet in child's pose. Exhale, pull belly button to spine, chin to chest, lift the hips, knees out wide, toes together, child's pose. Inhale, wave everything forward to tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Lift that right leg high, three-legged down dog. Bend the knee, open the hip to the right. Stack right over left. And use your core, pull it back to center. Right knee finds right elbow, plank. Inhale, lift it high, three-legged down dog. Keep that right foot flexed. Exhale, right knee finds right tricep, a little bit higher. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right knee, right shoulder. Keep it high. Step that foot to the outside edge. Right pinky. Lower that back knee. So we're setting up for lizard here. Maybe you call those blocks in close. Keep that right knee magnetizing towards your right shoulder as you try to come down to elbows. And then we'll create a little more space by firing up the back leg. Press into the back toes, lift the back knee up off the mat. Find your breath. Come back to that intention. We'll come back up onto hands. Lower the back knee. Send the hips backwards, straighten the front leg. Pull the toes back towards your face. Right hip energetically shifts backwards a little bit. Stick your butt back. Grow tall through the top of the head. Press the right heel down into the mat. This is where we meet challenge in a way that's a little bit more accessible. When we're creating space, we're creating opening. but it still feels loud. It feels like challenging. Feels like friction where we want to run away, but it's a little easier to engage with, to breathe with, to soften when we're not also engaging with strength and balance. Build your capacity to stay with discomfort here. Remove the blocks. We'll begin to bend into the right knee. Walk your hands over to the left. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. Little awkward transition here. We'll walk ourselves to Skandasana on the left. Bend the left knee, straighten the right. Right toes lift towards the sky. If you're calling on more strength, hands come to prayer. Knowing where we're headed, we're going to launch ourselves to Warrior Two on the right. Open the arms up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the heart, open the collarbones. Let the shoulders drop. A little bit more bend in the right knee. Sweep the left arm behind your back. Reach the right arm high. See if you can use the left fingertips to gently press down into that right hip. That right glute. Cartwheel the hands to frame that front foot, lift the back heel. Step left to meet right, forward fold. Generously bend the right knee. Right elbow makes contact with the right knee. Wave the left hand high. Find length from that left hip all the way up through your neck. Melt it back to center. Bend the left knee. Wave that right arm high. Find length from left fingertips to right fingertips. Melt everything back to center. Inhale. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. We'll pull the right knee in. Find that balance. Imagine that left foot is a root ball. Your mat is the earth. Grow roots down. Imagine stability. That left leg is nice and strong. Walk your hands down the shin, maybe grabbing for underneath the foot, maybe staying on the shin, just squeezing everything in. Give it one more breath. And we'll slowly release. Lift the hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Feel that opening. Step left to meet right, plank position. Hips are lifted. Back is lifted. Strong core. Send the shoulders just in front of the wrists. Elbows squeeze the rib cage halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Let your lower body be heavy and soft. Let your upper body be strong, supportive, grounded, rooted. Chin to chest, belly button to spine. Lift the hips, knees out wide, toes together, child's pose. Wave forwards, tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Left leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. A little bit higher. Inhale, lift. Last one here. Exhale, knee to shoulder. Keep it high, hips lifted. Step the foot to the outside corner of the mat. Pause here. Strong through that right leg. Walk the hands over to the right. Skandasana, right leg, left leg straightens. Maybe your hands find heart center. Launch yourself. Warrior two, left leg. Arms out wide. Paint the sky with the left hand, right hand behind your back. Come back to warrior two. We'll sweep the right hand down, lift the back heel. So we're setting up to launch ourselves forwards here, okay? So before we do, straps. So if you can grab your strap and place it in front of you, you might need it. I would lay it across your mat. And we're going to launch ourselves forward, step on the strap with the right foot. Okay. If you feel like to get into this position, so let's say earlier we were having trouble grabbing the bottom of our foot, you'll go ahead and grab the strap and lift it up to you. If you want to try it without the strap, we're just going to pull the knee in towards our belly. If you've got the strap, you're doing the same thing. We're just lifting our leg up. Okay, cross the strap, crisscross. If you are without the strap, wrap peace fingers around the big toe. If you've got the strap, we're going to kick it forwards. Strong hands here. Modifying and doing both is hard. I'm gonna do toe to foot. Okay, so lift that leg out in front of you. Pull backwards as much as your foot is pressing forwards into the strap. Pull backwards onto the toe as much as your toe is pressing forwards into your fingers. We're doing both, two things at once. Okay, deep breaths. Wherever you are, pull backwards and begin to melt your chest over your leg. And then let's let it go. Don't forget to laugh, okay? Okay. Don't forget we're here to have fun. It's okay. It's okay. The challenge is good. That's how we grow, okay? All right, let's lift our hands high. Let it go. Let's do a little bending, wiggling of the legs. Roll the wrists. Okay, inhale. Open the heart space. Baby back bend here. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Low lunge. Place the hands down. Step the right to meet the left. Plank position. Keep your hips lifted, even with your shoulders here. Core is nice and engaged. Send the shoulders forwards over the wrist, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward duck. Last side here. So we have moved through one side. So we kind of have a feel of what we need, what would support us. Maybe the strap is not what we need. Maybe we can let that go and just try for the peak posture on our own. Lift the right leg high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee to elbow, squeeze it in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to tricep, a little bit higher. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to shoulder. It looks better than it feels, I promise. Step the foot up. You guys look great. Pause here. Feel the opening in that left hip. Squeeze that right knee towards the right shoulder. Feel. Walk the hands over to the left, Skandasana on the left, bend the left knee. Straighten that right leg, right toes come towards the ceiling. If you did so on the other side, find prayer. We're gonna launch ourselves forwards. Warrior two, right side, hands out wide. Wrap the left arm behind your back, paint the sky with the right hand. Come back through warrior two. We're gonna sweep the left hand down as we lift the left heel. Launch ourselves forwards to stand. Okay, now we know if we need the strap. Set yourself up here if you do. I also find it helpful if you want to take the strap on top of the foot, cross it underneath and create this little pocket. It can feel more secure. If you're wanting to do it without the strap, wonderful. Okay, pause. Grab the right knee, pull it in. Did I do the wrong knee? Are we on left? Sorry, guys. Okay, left. Woo. Pull the left knee in. Find your balance first. So the benefits are going to find you here. If you notice yourself falling all over the place when you reach for your toe, just stay. Work on that first position. Walk your hands down, grab underneath the foot. Stay here. If you want to move on, wrap left peace fingers around the big toe. Begin to press toe into fingers. Pull your fingers back into your toe. And move slowly, micro shifts. You don't have to arrive at the destination ever. It's all a journey. Give yourself permission to find that edge point and stay and breathe with it. Give yourself permission to come out of it, grab the strap. Okay, let's give it 5 more breaths wherever we are. That's why we call this a practice. It's not a performance, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be messy. Maybe we find we need support, we need to back off, we need to try something new. Give it one more breath and then shake it off. Take our hands to prayer at heart center. Find your feet. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Relax tension in your hips. Find your breath. In, pull it in, pull it in. Exhale, nice and slow, soft. Inhale, lift those hands high, find that baby back bend. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hand, step the left foot to the back of the mat. This little hip opener here. Step right to meet left, plank position. Send the shoulders forwards. Chaturanga, halfway down, elbows squeeze the ribs. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, child's pose. I'm going to lift up to tabletop and bring the knees together, feet together, and we'll sit back on the hips. Grab for your heels with your hands and let your forehead lay on the mat. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. If this feels like enough for you, you can stay and breathe. If you have the space, you can begin to lift the hips and roll towards the top of your head. Stay with where you are and what you need. What you need is where sensation shows up. So as long as the body is speaking to you in some way, you're feeling something, that is what you need. So stay and breathe. Come out of that. Release the feet. Take your hands back out in front of you. Slowly roll yourself up to a tabletop. Release the roundness in the spine. Let the belly drop. We're going to cross the right knee over the left. Begin to walk your hands backwards until the left knee begins to lift. Feet are out wide. And you feel a sensation in that right hip. You can stay, keeping the hips lifted, just feeling that stretch in the right hip. If you'd like to sit all the way back to cow face pose, you can. Not a requirement. For me, I personally feel more with my hips lifted. So again, the destination might not be what's best for you. Stay with what you feel. Breathe with what you feel. And then we're going to walk those hands back forwards. Lift the right leg back behind you, straighten it out. And then we're going to pull that right knee in behind the left. I usually have to lift my left knee to get that right knee behind the left. And then we're going to work that right knee down the left calf. Find some tension we didn't know existed. And just start to care for that area that we built some strength today through balance. Work that right knee all the way down to your Achilles and then make some circles on the way back up. Be gentle here. No need to find that fiery, radiating pain. Be as gentle as you'd like. And then when you make your way to the top, we'll unwind. Cross the left knee behind the right. Begin to walk your hands backwards till the right knee lifts. Find the depth that feels good for you. Pull that breath back in if you're holding. Walk yourself back forwards. Unwind that left leg. Straighten it out first. Then pull left knee behind the right. And begin to wiggle that left foot right and left. Working that left knee down the right calf all the way to your Achilles area. And then making circles on the way back up. And then we'll let that go. Cross at the ankles, come to a seat. And we'll come to roll down on our mat. Keep your blocks close. Bend the knees. And if you'd like, you don't have to use a block. We're going to do a bridge. The block underneath our hips can just feel very restorative. So press down into the feet, lift the hips, and place that block underneath your low back. Find a spot that feels good, where you feel secure, and then begin to walk those feet out to the outside corners of the mat. If you'd like a little bit of a heart opener, press into the back of the head, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then lay them back down. Bend the knees, walk them back in, lift the hips, and allow the tailbone to land. Walk the feet out in front of you, straighten those legs. We're going to come to fish pose. So take your palms, place them down on the mat, and work them underneath your bum. We're going to press into the elbows and notice how the chest begins to lift, and we roll to the back of our head, more towards the top. Press into the elbows again, lift the chest, roll to the top of the head. Press into the elbows again, lift the chest. Whatever degree feels good for you. So the back is in an arch, the throat is opening, the heart is open. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release. Inch the hands out from underneath the hips and just allow the palms to face up. Shavasana. Let the toes melt open to the outside edges of the mat. Let the back side body feel heavy. Imagine that your mat, the ground, the earth is coming up to meet you. Make any small adjustments you need to make to get comfortable. And we arrive in stillness, this space of integration, calibration for the body to begin to anchor all the benefits of our movement practice and also gather all the information from the last hour and allow it to settle into the body. Maybe you found more space, more strength, more balance. And we give the body space now. Allow yourself to breathe and be trusting everything that you've done in the last hour for yourself is enough. And to come back into the space with your breath, with micro movements, fingers and the toes. Let that breath and movement spread throughout your entire body, waking up slowly. Begin to roll to the right or the left side just for a moment, Take a breath here. Let anything that no longer serves you stay here on your mat. On an inhale, press yourself up to a seat at the front of your mat, hands in prayer at your heart. It's here where we find gratitude for our body, our breath, our practice, our community, and for everything that we are able to cultivate from within for ourselves, for our lives. Find gratitude here. The light in me is the light in you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. Good job, everyone. Thank you.